Hello and welcome to our podcast, Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. I'm Lauren. And I'm Michelle. And we're so excited you stopped by for a visit. Come on in. Yeah, make yourself at home. We're two Midwestern sisters who love a good old-fashioned conversation and enjoy sharing our life experiences with one another and you. Consider this your one-stop shop for cozy, mindful well-being, along with some entertainment and lots of wheezy laughing. Oh, you bet there'll be a lot of that going around. Our goal is to live our coziest life and inspire you to do the same because the truth is, we think it's good for your mind and your body. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, let's get cozy. Well, hi there, and welcome to Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. I am your host, Lauren, being joined by my co-host, Michelle.
And I'm exhausted.
I need another coffee.
I'm plummeting as the time goes by.
Just so you know, because you did your pigs rehearsal, Michelle, I'm obsessed. Right now, we're in a good TikTok algorithm because Michelle and I share the same account. And, sometimes it's like, I'm like, oh, here we go. There's some weird shit that you've hooked on
There's
to.
some weird stuff. It's not me. I'm not searching for people.
I know you're not, but once it starts, sometimes it just keeps going. It's not you.
I hate
it's
the algorithm right now. What are you seeing?
Oh, I'm seeing all shaken espresso recipes.
Oh, yeah, I am seeing that. And are you seeing the blueberry coffee, the blueberry syrup?
Yeah, no, I don't like to do anything like that. I want it to be as plain, but as frothy as possible. And now you're going to be seeing a lot of Pilates because I'm looking up Pilates stuff because I'm going to start teaching Pilates in a couple weeks here at Half Moon in South Loop. Come see me. And I'm getting jazzed. So it's espresso and Pilates and anything else. I think that's kind of
something weird in there. I was like, I'm done.
Gross. I hate it. Just put the not interested. Okay, you guys.
I didn't know you can do that.
Oh, yes. Anytime Charlie Kirk's gum line pops up on my TikTok, not interested. Take your gums somewhere else. Take your gums and go away.
Take your gums and go somewhere else.
I can't even do it. I hate it. Anyways. Okay, you guys, tonight or tomorrow night, Michelle and the rest of the pigs will be playing at Montrose Harbor. Michelle, what time do you guys go on?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.?
Yeah.
And is it a ticketed event or is it people can just show up?
This is something that you might, if you want to go grab a bite or sit down, you might want to get there a little bit early. I'm told that gets crowded quick.
Is it too crowded to bring maybe a 3-year-old if I can't find a babysitter?
No.
Okay.
There's a whole beach.
There's a whole beach. Okay, you guys. Also, Michelle, local art alert. Will you tell about the summer soiree?
I sure will. Our friend Lizzie Zell, who I just want to say is she is sort of on the forefront of this art revival in our town. She is leading the charge of getting artists, local creators together. They're getting each other's art in their galleries.
There's so many talented people in your town.
So many talented people. Many. Let me tell you something right now.
Tell me right now.
I spent a good hour and a half with Lizzie and her darling husband at her studio in LaGrange, which is where this event is that I'm going to be telling you about. And I felt like I was in the coziest home filled with the most unreal, beautiful pieces of art, just surrounded by it. And I told her, I said, Lizzie, I have to tell you, I've been in art galleries before. And in some instances for me, because I'm intimidated by art, and she and I had a long talk about that.
Why? Why are you intimidated by art?
I'm just, I have part of the reason why I have bare walls is, because I just got my house repainted, but also I have a struggle with committing to things. And it turns out that I'm not the only one. This is a thing. Oh. There are people out there that struggle with these things. And Lizzie is just the girl to help folks do that. She actually will go to your house and help
curate
your space with her art, other art, whatever. But art lovers, folks that didn't even know that there is art that exists in our town, there is a summer soiree and gallery crawl on August 2nd from 4 to 8 at the Lizzie Zell Studio in the West End Gallery at 522 West Burlington Avenue in LaGrange. You guys, go to this. Go meet these local artists. Go see what they're creating. We're going to be talking more about Lizzie in the future. Go check her out. Tell her the Sister Project sent you.
We'll put the link in our show notes.
Yes. There'll be light bites, snacks, what have you.
Michelle, we got a new review in. Go ahead. Give it a whirl.
All right, guys. This review says, makes me laugh, and we got 5 stars. We'll take that and run with it. I love the random, fun, and full of truth conversations. Oh, buckle up for the conversation we just had. Often, it's exactly what I need to hear. Lauren and Michelle make me laugh and have a genuine care to make the world just a little better through connecting with others, except the guy that we talked about in our conversation later on. Thank you so much for this review. We appreciate you so much.
What was the name? Was there a name on the review?
Mymar15.
Mymar15 or Myanmar?
No, M-A-I.
Mymar.
15. Thank you. And the thing is Lauren's not doing nipple tweaks or mouth kisses anymore. So we're just giving
I would if, it depends.
No, we're going to just leave that there.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I guess I'm not doing that. And especially with that garlic breath I had the other day, no one would want any lip kisses from me.
No one wants it.
But you know what I am going to do for you, Mymar15? I'm going to send you some good karma because you know what? That's what we are going to start doing here at the Sister Project.
Love it.
Good karma is being sent your way for you taking the time, the 2 minutes it took to write that review, show us some love back, and I am thankful for you. Mymar15.
And folks, you know what time it is? It's that time where I ask you every week like clockwork, if you aren't already subscribing and following the or Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project on the streaming app of your choice, please, it helps our cause. Go to Spotify, go to Apple, click our podcast, go find that little plus sign in the top right corner.
Or sometimes it says follow or subscribe.
Click it. Thanks in advance.
Click it. Thank you.
Click it.
All right, you guys, buckle up for a doozy of a conversation. Just a heads up, we are sharing some experiences that Michelle and I have had throughout the years, sexual harassment kind of stuff, and just last week as well. So just for those that might find the content disturbing or hard to listen to, just a heads up. Otherwise, besides that, we're sharing some great content that we've been reading, watching, listening to, and of course, just great sister banter and stories. All right, listener, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following and subscribing. Stay cozy and enjoy the conversation. Okay.
Oh, I had a late night last night.
Why's that?
Well, I had practice. We had a pig plow before our gig. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't get a full amount of sleep.
Remember last week you had pig practice and I think you were hungover on Tuesday?
Mm.
Why'd that happen?
I mean, I don't metabolize alcohol the way I used to. So it's barely have any and feel like you've been hit by a car.
Last week I went to a little themed party. This is like the summer of themed parties for me. I had a coffee party, like an Italian, garden party with some friends 2 weeks ago. And then last week I had a party for a club that I'm a part of. And I was worried about feeling like a little drowsy the next day, but I wasn't. But so here's the deal. I'm part of a club called We Dissent, which I've spoken about here. It's a very inclusive.
Exclusive.
It's exclusive.
I was going to ask, you guys aren't taking any new members?
Not at the moment.
Does anyone basically, is it like someone has to die to get into it, or it's just as everybody dies, eventually it'll just be a one-man band?
This is right now. This is the club. It's 4 members, and for the foreseeable future, it's going to remain that way.
Okay.
But, a few years ago, we had a flag burning party. And no, don't get it twisted. Not the American flag, the MAGA Trump flag. And those bitches are made in China. So those go up in smoke in seconds. I mean, you touch it, you put it near fire and it's like poof. So the fire burning part kind of went by quickly.
So we could thank you for that and also for contributing to the bad air quality.
Yep, you could blame us. And then, so that was like 3 years ago. So, and this club is always in session, just talking and whatnot, but we had to have some sort of meeting. So our hostess, and the name shall remain nameless, the people, because you know what, it's just a private club. And the hostess really put out, it was a We Dissent anti-Trump party. And at the table, I got stickers that had it's just a round sticker that says Trump, and then the cross out, which is now in my refrigerator. It's really lovely.
I saw the order on Amazon.
It's because I go through your prime.
I was like, uh-oh, someone's getting frisky.
Yep. I brought the toilet paper. So one of the little kids, there were some of the kids were around. He had a bellyache. So he was wiping his poo butt with Donald's face, which I'm like, you guys, whoever's got diarrhea, use that bathroom. But then our wonderful hostess, she's classy. So she had RBG stamps, like a sheet of stamps next to each plate with RBG's face.
What a lovely takeaway.
I keep saying, did I say RGB? I meant RBG. Oh my God.
That's all right.
RBG. And
we all know.
I know. I'm like still trying to wake up over here. And so that was lovely. And then there was a Ruth bobblehead in the center of the table, just so we have some representation. And then we had a blow up Trump that one of the other members really woman handled later.
Yeah, I saw.
Grabbed him by the pussy and said, how do you like it?
How I saw. And it was hilarious. She looked like a little old lady.
Yep. It was amazing. And
I wish would have taken out a purse and just whipped him with it.
Someone should just stabbed it and just let it deflate. But you know what? It was, the kids were throwing it from the balcony upstairs. It was very cathartic. And we drank some beautiful wine to accompany our dinner. And I just, the spirits have been lifted, even in this crazy, chaotic time we're living in.
You let go of some shit.
That, it just felt really, and then
like
the fun part about it too is that you're sitting at a table, that we're going to talk about some shit, but then we talk about other random shit. And then we're like, oh my God, and then someone's memories jogged. Like, did you see what he, did? So it's really just kind of fun to be in that group, to get it all out. And then the next day you feel like, I feel like a therapy session.
Yeah, lighter.
So I highly recommend, if anyone's feeling like how I or you, Michelle, have been feeling and just feeling overwhelmed, get together with some like-minded folks, dish it out, toast to your friendship, and have at it and have a good evening, and it really kind of brings out that washcloth.
It sounds therapeutic.
It was.
Sounds it. Well, you were beating the...
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no,
we'll get to the garlic, that's why when I saw you...
that was so bad.
At the farmer's market.
That was fucking horrible.
I didn't...
let's talk about that.
Because I wasn't hungover. I had a different kind of hangover. I had a hangover
from your breath. You guys, here's the deal. We're at the fucking table at the LaGrange Farmers Market. We'll be back again on August 7th. Please come and say hi to us. And Lauren comes up to me and she's like, I see her walking down the street and she's like all peppy and she's waving and we're like excited, because we love Farmers Market Thursdays. And she starts to talk to me and I almost died. I honestly became nauseous.
Oh, sad.
It was horrific. It was pungent. And it wasn't bacteria breath. Lauren is a good dental hygiene.
No, you guys. My hygienist was like, you have stellar mouth hygiene. I said, thank you.
It was a overindulgence of roasted garlic breath from the night before. Now, I lasted about 12 and a half seconds before I was like, do you have mints? Get them out, put them on the table because we're going to lose fucking business.
Which I always have mints.
Yeah,
I thought you needed it for yourself. And I was pissed when she said that. She's like, we're going to lose business because your
Lauren
breath.
Got so
and
mad.
I was like,
she was like, whatever, sausage breath.
Yeah, I'm like, you always smell like sausage breath.
And I was like,
would rather smell like garlic than sausage breath. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Just to paint the picture for how bad the breath was, and just so you know, there's no exaggeration here, a friend of ours and her two darling children came up to visit, check in, contribute to the Do Nothing wall, and they were sharing a recent trip. So just to give you a timeline here, they stood aside our table for probably 15 or 20 minutes. The poor little boy that was standing there was downwind to Lauren's breath. And I watched him transition from like a bubbly, excited, little fellow to it progressed to him. He had two fingers closing his nostril like this. I watched it. Okay. And then he had two fingers and he pulled his shirt above his nose. I was like, this kid's gonna fucking barf. And he literally walked away.
Too bad, sir.
He was like, Uncle, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm
the
going
white
to
flag. He
I'm going
put
to
up
check
a
out the
white
tamale
flag.
stand.
He put up the white flag because the tamale stand.
He was like, I'm out of here. It was
my
rude.
friend made this beautiful, like, it was a tomato mix with like cherry tomatoes, basil, raw garlic. Okay. So that tons of raw garlic. So that could have been the culprit. But then out of nowhere, she's making this beautiful, we were calling it kind of like a burrata board. It was like burrata, toasted bread with garlic rubbed on. I mean, we were vampire. We were basically trying to ward off vampires that night. And then she pulls out this roasted garlic, this whole head of garlic. And then me and my other friend were just basically eating the cloves of garlic. I saw her do it once. And I'm like, that sounds like a cool idea. And so I did it. Then I started eating the garlic
were you like
roasted.
Because I am aware sometimes, like if I've got like an event the next day or something,
did
at any point you consider I'm going to be talking to a lot of people, but you just thought, I don't care?
I thought about it on the train home when I was sitting there decompressing, really happy about the night that we had. And then, that food, I was thinking about the food. I'm like, oh gosh, I have to talk to a lot of people tomorrow, like in person, like
we probably would have talked to more.
Yeah. So if you are listening to this and I offended you with my bad breath because I ate copious amounts of garlic the night before,
you have every right to be offended.
And you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Maybe they liked it. Some people are weird. Some people are like, oh, I love garlic.
No.
So
listen, you probably don't know this, but when I was studying literature at shout out Eastern Illinois University, there was a professor, Panther. There was an English, a lit professor. And I think I'm not 100%.
Did he have bad breath? Did it take your breath away?
Did he have bad breath? His room smelled like your breath. He ate garlic by the clove.
He was probably so healthy. He probably never got a cold.
There were rumors that he used to drink menstrual blood. I mean,
why would he do that? And he didn't.
There was rumors that he used to lay out naked at the national park. Like he was an eccentric dude. But when I tell you that I would walk past his room and I would gag, I knew people that were taking his class that had to sit by the window, open it to breathe in the fresh air. It came out of his pores. I can't believe he had students or was employed. It was offensive.
No. Mine, I was in an open air situation, so the wind would pick up the scent and just do its thing. Now, Michelle, you know what's so fascinating about the fact that my breath was so offensive to so many people, large and small, that close and far. That there was one person of all the people that I would have hoped would be so offensive, it would have like a deterrent. It almost like brought this human being in stronger, almost like he was probably grossly attracted to it. And now I'm going to throw up.
The more, I forgot about it for a moment, but you're bringing it up again. So I'm having to relive it and I can see the image of said person in front of me. And now I'm going to throw up.
I'm going to throw up. So here's what happened, you guys. Let's see.
No, what happened was Lauren was off. Were you getting coffee at that time or were you getting shopping?
No.
Okay, so coffee. Lauren split for a second. And so I was manning the station. And, these types of things, you are talking to people of all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, which I love. I'm game. And I am I entertain all conversations. So a very interesting visitor came to our table and, just right out of the gate, I was like, well, he ain't our demographic, but I'm going to have a conversation with him. And he, was a creeper John right out of the gate. So this conversation went on for far too long, in my opinion. I wanted it to stop. And Lauren had not come back yet and it continued. And I saw people passing by that were not coming to our booth because of the person that I was engaging with. And then finally, Lauren comes back, and I'm thrilled because at that moment, I didn't feel unsafe, but I was just feeling like, please make it stop.
Is enough.
Get away from me. I don't want to have a conversation with you. You're creeping me out. Your jokes are weird. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And then Lauren joined me, and I'm going to pass the baton. I'm going to pass it.
Yeah, right? I noticed that Michelle was talking to someone. Oh my God. I noticed that Michelle was chatting with someone. So, and even just as like a friend, a woman, a sister, you're kind of walking a little faster because you're like, who the fuck is she talking to? Like, and it's just basically like she's by herself. And so I'm like, I picked up the pace a little bit. I'm like, oh, hello. What's going on? Hi. And Michelle introduced me and this person. And at one moment when I'm putting down like my coffee and like kind of getting myself settled again, he made a joke of, so when does our lurid love affair start? To Michelle. And I was like, ew.
Yep. I was like, never. How about never?
No.
Call the police. Oh, their booth hasn't been set up yet.
I'm going to go and jump in front of
Hang on a second while I kill myself. Just keep on going.
Want my dead body? Probably.
Yeah.
So, and then we're sitting there. Oh my God. I have like PTSD. And so I'm really trying to, I noticed he says that and I clock that one in. And we kind of like my best giggled. I'm trying my best also. I just was like, oh, that's interesting. I think I said something like, oh, that's an interesting thing to say.
That's usually your line. That's your go-to when we're caught off guard.
Well, trying to be polite, but also acknowledging that what you said is odd, right? And it gets weirder, guys. So buckle up. And so I'm asking him, like, what are you doing for the rest of the day? You must have somewhere to be. He mentioned he's going to go fishing. And anything I said just opened up the floodgates for more. And again, I'm really trying to usher him, close the conversation without being like, get the fuck out of here. Okay. So I did the whole like, those. And at one point I said, well, the fish are probably waiting for you. You better get on your way. And he kind of paused
and he was going to walk. He was going to walk away. He turned a little bit and then he turned back for the humdinger.
And he said, he leans in and he goes, you know what I'm really good at? And I'm like, please say fishing. But I'm going to tell you what, listener, I knew exactly
where he was going.
I knew exactly, not even where he was going. I knew exactly what he was going to say. I don't know why I knew it, but I knew it because only a guy as crass and gross as that would say the following words. And I just kind of stood there. I'm like, huh? And he leans in and he said, I'm really good at giving oral.
Yep.
And that is when Michelle disappeared.
I did. I looked like I was on an escalator. I went like this.
Michelle, there she is. Where's Michelle? Like literally, I'm right now left alone.
I crawled underneath our table.
Michelle literally went down on the ground and
hid under the table. And I hear Lauren say,
and my hands are holding onto the table. I'm grasping the table, my head. I'm looking down at the table, shaking my head. And I said, I knew you were going to say that. And then it's kind of a blur from there because I know my choices. I can yell help. I can say, get the fuck out of here. I can crack a joke and say, and I know what I did. I went in the line of cracking a joke and saying something along the lines of like, what did I? I thought I said.
You said I'm not usually left without words.
I said I'm not.
But you've rendered me speechless.
You have taken my breath away, sir. And I think again ushered him into a realm of trying to go away. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Maybe go find one of those. And then he left, came back, and he said, hey, thanks for having a laugh with me. So now he is trying to make me feel like this is all funny. I'm supposed to be left here with this funny story, which LOL, okay, kind of is. But it's also, we're going to talk more about how fucking weird it is that he thought he can come up to a booth of women standing there and say this to us. And afterwards, he comes back around and he says, hey, thanks for the laugh and thanks for not telling the police on me. And he nodded over to my right at the time. And when I looked, sure enough, the LaGrange Police Department was setting up their table, which they weren't there all morning. which made me really happy, of course, that now we have.
Yeah. And we've made friends with them since.
Yes.
So they're going to take care of us.
And it felt good to know that there were some police officers there. But oh my God. But then, it was a quick turnaround because then we had people coming up. Then Michelle was just telling everyone that she spoke to.
Well, and also just for the record, I mean, I'm a lot better than him and I know my audience and we saw some friendly faces and people and also we met some cool ladies that we met and knew they were cool.
Story?
And I told them a story and honestly, like a handful of people were like, you could have called the police. They
it's
pointed
sexual
to the police.
harassment.
You were being harassed. That is that is not okay.
Of course it is.
And I was like,
all of the above. Yes. I mean, there's nothing that was okay about it. It's legit sexual harassment. Now, had he
sick.
Oh, it's so sick.
He could have been arrested could they have arrested him too for just being vile? Because he broke the law there.
Not vile. Oh, no, I know. No, just for what he was saying to us, gross. Now, if I had my wits about me and if this was like a skit and I had written this, if he had said to me, you know what I'm good at? And said, I'm so good at oral. I wish I had of the mind to be like, well, my cock is so huge and it's throbbing and waiting for you.
Ew, I actually hate that response. I don't like that at all.
I love it because you know why? Because that would have scared the shit out of him thinking that this pretty young lady here is a
huge throbbing cock at 9:30 in the morning on a Tuesday.
Let me dish it back to someone who thinks that they can talk to me like I'm just some sort of person that gets to receive his abuse. I'm going to abuse you back. I'm going to put in a mental photo for you, sir, that is grosser than the one you have supplied for me.
I think what I am going to do in the future, if somebody does that to me, is the opposite of what I did, which would be not crawling under the table, but channeling my like town crier, the way I'm like hooting and hollering, like inspiring people, celebrating. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand on this table and I'm going to scream, disgusting person verbally assaulted me. Citizen's arrest.
Citizen's arrest.
Call the police. I think that he should be arrested for the sexual harassment and for being appalling and disgusting.
Yep. No, I love it. We both have our own way of, because sometimes with me, I'm thinking like the notion that people can just say things to women. I mean, I was thinking about it last night, the amount of times or things that people said to me, whether it was in the workplace when I was working at a racetrack and I would have people say like, in fact, that dress, it should be actually a little shorter. Could we find it even lower on top? Like, you have to dress a certain way for part. At the same point, I knew exactly what that part was. Do you know what I'm saying? And I leaned into it. But at the same point, I'm being told it's very much so groomed on how to present myself and dress myself for the male gaze.
And then what's also interesting is another area where we gals are also and have been groomed is in this area of being quiet, being smaller. You're too loud. Your laugh is too loud. You're too big of a personality. And I'm thinking to myself, if somebody didn't tell me, if there wasn't a whole, society telling women to be smaller and more quiet, maybe my first instinct wouldn't have been to make myself smaller. I would have been like, get the fuck out of here, dirtbag Johnny. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. You kind of shrunk down, but I don't think it was, I
was being funny. I was trying to add humor to a wildly inappropriate conversation, but I also wanted to put myself in a box it up and get thrown into the next UPS truck that
oh my
drove
God.
by.
But see, my imagination runs wild because what I want to do is either say something so jarring back to him that it stops him in his tracks and maybe teaches him a lesson. And maybe he thinks I'm a beautiful trans woman and that has really ruffled his feathers. Or I want to jump him, and I mean beat the living shit. I want to cry. I want to jump over the table like from a movie and jump towards him, taking him to the ground, wrestling him
and then leaving him for dead.
You want to touch him?
I want to beat the shit out of him.
Yes. If I see him, just for the record, if I see him crawling around at the next event, I am going to get the neighborhood friendly police officer as soon as that man passes by, just so he's standing here in our presence.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Sick
Rick. Now,
my stomach hurts.
Well, we just have to, it's one of those things where it's like you have to, it's such a good reminder that no one's safe from predatory or harassment from anybody. 2 times that I can remember as a younger woman, one time I was driving my car on 55 on a highway, you guys, and a man was like trying to match my speed. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I look over and I don't know how he positioned himself, but he was driving his car and he was still on the gas. So he must have like propped one leg up. Which I have no idea. And he was full on masturbating and he wanted me to see it. And so I took the nearest right off on 47th Street, might have gone over like the media. Called the police right away. I mean, and you know me, and that's another thing. I always call the police. I'm shocked I didn't at this one point.
I know.
Yeah, well, and the other one was when I was on LaGrange Road. So this was in LaGrange and I was at Ogden and LaGrange, but on LaGrange at the red light, and I hear music like blasting next to me. And I look over to my left and a man, I think was a man, couldn't really tell, but I'm assuming had on one of those, if you've ever seen the movie People Under the Stairs, or even American Horror Story, those scary leather masks with the zipper mouth? Mm-hmm. Well, the guy next to me driving was wearing one. And when I looked over to him, he stuck out his tongue and flicked it at me.
Ew, I hate that.
Our sister finds it to be one of the funniest stories. I hate it too. But like, this is just like this, like if I went around town doing that, people would think I'm insane,
Lauren,
right? But if it's a man doing it, it's, so he's a pervert.
Lauren, my college soccer coach used to call me and invite me to his shower. He used to call me and invite me to his shower.
Should we just one up one another and see? Okay, let's just. And I was nothing. Let's go back and forth, Michelle. Okay. What do you mean his shower?
He would call me from his shower. And invite me to his shower.
What? And
that's
here's
just
the thing.
A handful of stories.
And you didn't go, and I'm wondering who are the poor girls that went.
But while I was being groomed and harassed, what he would do when I was a new student athlete, he would call me and invite me to early morning meetings when nobody was around at
what a fucking creep.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't know in the beginning that he was also a raging alcoholic, and a lot of his grooming tactics, I think, occurred while he was under the influence. Not giving an excuse, but I think that it shortened his memory. And luckily, there were times, not every time.
So he was drunk and trying to get you guys to come over?
Oh yeah.
How does this man have a job on a college campus?
This story is for another time. We weren't planning on having this conversation, but it's another example of where we all as a team went forward and brought, and the school buried it and gave him his, he was quietly suspended and then reinstated as the coach.
All the time.
And
teachers, coaches, doctors.
People in power, priests, men in power. And women too, but in this instance, it was a dude.
Usually, yeah. I mean, it does happen. I had a boss who would ask me about my sex life with my now husband. And at the time, I didn't realize how fucked up it was.
Couldn't think of anything else to talk about with you?
Isn't that so
inappropriate?
Weird? It's all inappropriate.
Talk about boundary crossing.
I have to say something. I'm sorry. I'm going to go here with this whole like Trump and Epstein thing. If anyone finds it fucking hard to believe that Donald Trump was a creep, go get your head checked, because this is, listen, power and money. That's all you need to be and then you get to bury stories. And right now it's just
happened to me.
It's just all happening. I know. And when he's like, oh, these women are lying. No, we're fucking not. This happens
all the time.
Every fucking day. In fact, I read a really scary stat that young girls as young as 11, that's the first time they start getting catcalled. 11 years old.
That's
11.
disgusting. Hey, Whiffs, share your story. Let's hear it. You can be anonymous. Drop a message. Contact at the Sister
as long
Project
as you don't want to
blog.com, whatever. You can
just
send
traumatic,
I understand that. But for those of you that want to share and want to bring to light the common, often occurrences that happen that we have buried, that we haven't talked about, that we don't talk about, let's talk about it.
So I heard, and this is something, and we could talk about what street harassment is. This is a little term that came up in my research yesterday. And it's like sexual harassment, but it's like on the street. So it's almost like, let's call it what it is. It's street harassment. You're just out in public like you and I were doing our thing. And as if I just find it so brazen that someone's like, I'm going to hear two ladies standing here and I'm going to go and fucking fuck with them in this beautiful open space. And this is what I'm going to do to my morning, with my morning, to their morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about it afterwards. We talk about, like how it felt. Like I couldn't shake it for the day. It took me like a good 24 hours to get past the idea that some man came and tried to share something so intimate and sexual with me when I'm just having a nice day and working. And it's really interesting how someone can hijack that moment from you. And what happens is this moment happens, and then you have to put back on your work face and your happy attitude because you're meeting all these people and we're talking to all these wonderful folks that are coming by to our booth. And you really have to compartmentalize the fact that someone just sexually harassed you. And that's a lot of work to do, emotional and mental. And then later, when we were on our walk, we were talking and I'm like, I'm having like,
couldn't shake it.
I was having flashbacks of it. So I did a little like digging around and, there's some things that I think that owe all of us a reminder. And we know the first one. So we're calling this the creep toolkit. And the first one is to always trust your gut. If you sense something's off or your gut or something is saying like, hey, this sitch does not feel right, trust it. Like Michelle, if at any moment, that happens again, it's always okay to call over one of the vendors next door and just have them stand by you. I've done that before. Oh my God, when I'm walking in the city or in Target, I've been followed before and I will find a random male. If I can't find security fast enough, I will find a random man and be like, can you pretend you're my husband? Because this fucking creep over here is following me. And then then I find myself being walked to the car by my new fake husband and Target security.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Because shit goes down when you are being flippant or you don't think the worst can happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The other one is we don't owe anyone politeness. And this is where I think women are super conditioned to smile and to be like, oh, okay, thank you, sir. When you want to be like, you're a fucking creep.
What's so weird for me is like if I see somebody mistreating somebody else out in public, I have no problem of stepping in and being
so
like, hey, asshole, why don't you go fly a kite? But when somebody comes up to me and verbally sexually assaults me in a public situation, my first reaction is to get small and be polite. And that's fucking weird.
Well, now that you
not no mo, honey.
Not no more. Think of it as a bobcat.
Blazing.
Think of it like if a bobcat or cougar. It's one of those big cats that you're supposed to get big and yell. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're supposed to do if you see them out in the wild. And we got to think of men like bobcats. We on defense need to be big and loud against them when they tell you that they're good at going down on people. Ew. Gross. Say it. And then the next thing is like to remember to always just say it plain and like loud and clear. Leave me alone. Or that was disgusting.
Yeah.
What you said was inappropriate.
Yeah, you're offensive.
Yeah. There's so many things. Have a
just
go-to
looking
phrase.
at you makes me want to kill myself. Oh, I'm sorry.
Have a go-to phrase. Use that buddy system. Document if needed. And then this last one, don't minimize it. Talk about it, vent it, unpack it.
Yeah.
That's all part of the healing moment because this whole freezing in the moment it's a trauma response. It's your body is trying to evaluate like how big is this threat? how do I have to react to this and go with that? And then, like I said, then you've got to turn that button off and shift back into work mode. And that's a lot of heavy lifting for women to have to do.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I wasn't minimizing it, but I was not giving it. I was appalled and disgusted and all the like the reactions. But then after the fact, I kind of like you really brought to light like this is not. I mean, so did everybody else that we told, and I knew that. But like, really, I was kind of like almost I was like compartmentalizing it, and you were like, "Dude, like we need to. That's not okay. People can't do that."
No, it's not something that's just, it's not just a blip on our day. That is, in my opinion, a major event. And if we were to be like, oh, it's just some creep, we're saying that's okay. We just are used to it. And we're telling young girls, just get used to it. No, tell them to fuck
eat shit,
off,
pound
and
sand.
die.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I feel like this is something my earliest memory of this is a coach who gave a girl on my basketball team a buck to pull down my pants in front of him, to pull down my shorts in front of him so that he can have a laugh. Fucking weird. And that was when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. And so and I'm 42. So consider the fact that at 11 years old is when my personal journey of having weird interactions with grown ass men started at 11 or 12 years old. And I'm 42 and it's still fucking happening.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think about how I go about my life or how men go about their lives. I'm thinking, do women come up and are men sitting here having this conversation that a woman has sexually either made them feel unsafe in public? They felt that they were being gazed at in a creepy way. Like, I wonder, I would love to have this conversation because I know how vastly different it is.
Yeah. I don't think that there's a lot of men out there saying, take a picture, it lasts longer, buddy.
Welcome to our world.
Experience.
Yeah. And it's just like I've been teaching Luna, like if someone, like I teach Luna, if someone is touching her, even if it's another kid, and I teach her don't touch other kids, but if another kid is, pushing her or touching her or, kids do these things. They're 3 years old. They're trying to figure out, but that at this age, she needs to know the words no and don't do that. And the other day I was teaching her that and someone referred to her. The other day she responded to a little one that, saying, don't do that. And someone responded to her going, oh, she's sassy. No, she's assertive. She's learning that you don't fuck with her. It's not sassy. That's just another word that's attached to women that sounds negative when they are standing up for themselves.
Yeah. It's like the little kid version of bitchy.
Yeah. Oh, she's so strong and bitchy.
I remember when a colleague called me told me that I was a bitch, and I was like, "Sir, you ain't seen nothing yet." Okay, buddy. But I remember I was a young woman and he was like, oh, I always thought you were bitchy. But now I realize you're fun. And I'm thinking to myself, as a 47-year-old looking back at that, I'm like, let's see, because I had opinions, I could speak for myself. You maybe didn't like what I had to say.
It's so funny because
you called me bitchy.
You're like not bitchy. You are actually not bitchy. If anyone can be, it would be me more than you.
In that situation, I found my voice in a couple of situations and I kind of wasn't having it. And that was the response that I got for for asserting myself, for being sassy.
For being a sassy lady.
Bitch. Sassy bitch.
So there's that. That's how our farmer's market went.
Still was the best day ever, minus that one horrific moment.
Yeah. And that, I will say, in regards to our last conversation about resilience, this is what resilience looks like. You have to weather the sexual harassment storm sometimes to get through a day.
Yeah.
And it's so real. And listen, as we get older, the less that kind of stuff happens, right? But I'm here to say it's still happening no matter what age.
Yep.
You're not invincible to it, but it's different than when you're like in your 20s.
Invincible or invisible. Either.
Did I say invincible?
You did. Either or. I think they could be interchangeable in this situation.
Be? I don't know what? Either way, it doesn't matter.
We don't care.
At that moment, I wanted to be invisible.
I think that's what the word you were looking for.
You guys know what I'm saying. But it's just so, now that you get older, you respond differently.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're in I don't give a fuck decade, like the 40s is really where we get to kind of like just say what we want. And maybe it's our age. Of course, we want young women and early honors to adapt this fearlessness to speak up. But here we are. We've made it to 40 and now we're just leaving no caution in the wind.
Good Lord. Well, there's that. But I will say, other than that, we did something different for this farmer's market. We had a do nothing wall. This was Michelle's brainchild. And we had everyone write down what their favorite way to do nothing is.
It's so fun. It's so fun to watch people think. You don't really take time, if you think about it, to think. All we talk about is what we're doing. It's all we talk about. We don't talk about the nothingness in our day. We don't really highlight that. That's not really something that
we talk about our to-do list, what work is like, what the kids' schedule is like,
all of those things. And it was just so fun to like really hear. I mean, to hear different people. I loved, the ones that love to have a glass of wine and read a book on the porch. There was an older gentleman there who had his dog with him, and he talked about how much he loved laying in bed with his dog and just starting his day.
I think his dog's name was Snert or something. Snert.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lovely to have that moment and connect with people. I'm dying over the fact that,
except for that one,
different kind of ways we connect with people and letting them share their pleasures in life, like the simple joys, their respites during a busy day. So and thank you guys.
And it opened up a greater conversation. That's the other thing. This is like, we come up and we have the conversations with the 99.99999% of the people that come up here. This conversation goes from what do you do for nothing? For what do you do that looks like nothing? And then you start to like break the barriers and you start to learn more about people's struggles with their hefty lists and how hard it is, or the ones that are like, I can't think of anything. And sometimes you have some pushback, and Lauren and I are really good at kind of having some of the ones that like to challenge our ideas, seeing what value there is in the space to do less. So I loved it. I think that folks, whoever you're listening and you haven't come and visited us yet at the farmer's market, come and say hi, and just keep it clean, and we'll keep the conversation going,
because we are not dealing with
no. One wrong move and you're getting arrested.
That's it. Yeah. That's pepper spray. I think actually I'm going to bring it next time, just in case. All right, moving on.
That would cause quite an uproar.
Reading, watching, listening to. I've got nothing new on the reading deck. Michelle, what about you?
Oh, well, I'm still working on some stuff, but I did something really cool on Friday in regards to reading. I went to my first ever author book signing event.
That's right.
Have you ever been to one?
No.
I have never been to one.
I don't think so. I feel like I have, but I can't think of it. So no.
My friend Beth Stamer joined me for this experience, and we went to author Jo Piazza's book signing event for her new book, Everyone is Lying to You. And this is what she is calling a trad wife mystery. Just a little background on Jo Piazza. She's a journalist, she's a podcaster, she's an author, she's written several books. And this story is about two college friends and one gal who becomes a trad wife influencer. And this character, Lizzie, in the story is loosely based on Jo Piazza's experience as a reporter. Anyway, that book is at the top of my list for our trip to Diamond Island. I cannot wait to read it, especially sitting and listening to Jo talk about how this book came to light and the real things that she saw and heard and experienced while going down this rabbit hole of exploring this very patriarchal movement that is steadfast on social media, influencing young girls and women everywhere to become these
Domesticated stay-at-home moms.
domesticated goddesses, which Joe Piazza made sure to explain and share that what we all knew. I knew this.
I didn't.
This is all bullshit. You
Well, I
guys,
know
these
that-
women
talk about
have
this.
homes that people think this is their perfect Pinterest perfect home. These women are renting homes.
Yes, they're renting them on social
curating
media.
spaces. They're renting them for social media. It's
So while their
all
kids fuck up their other house, this perfect looking home isn't even theirs, and there are no children present. Wow, that is magnificent.
And those trad wives, those domesticated women who they're working their D's off.
Yeah, this all, to make it look like, and this other, oh my God, the idea of waking up and putting on a little milkmaid dress, a wench dress is what I call, the ones with the puffy boobs and the puffy sleeves.
Some ladies came dressed like that.
I know, I love that. They came dressed as trad wives. I love it. But the idea of waking up, putting my hair in curlers, putting a whole face of makeup on just to start serving breakfast.
Ridiculous.
Can you imagine?
No, it's absurd.
It's like Pleasantville. It's like, like Stepford Wives. I just can't imagine it. Okay.
It's all full of baloney.
It's full of baloney. I just finished a docuseries on Netflix about a story that I remember.
I started watching this.
Yeah. So it's called Amy Bradley is Missing. And it was a young lady. I think she was like 19 or 20. She was anywhere between ages of 18 to 21.
This was the one that was on the cruise ship with her family.
Yeah, she was on a cruise ship. She was with her brother. They were that night that she disappeared. Last her father saw her, she was smoking a cig on the balcony, and then poof, she's gone. There are theories. There have been sightings, theories of sex trafficking, theories of the band leader was involved with some sort of like organized crime or sex trafficking.
What do you think?
I don't know, because to me, the idea of going missing in the ocean is just so easy to happen. Like you fall over a boat.
I mean, it's
like what happens when you fall over a boat?
Like,
I don't know. We're talking, I think this was like 97. So listen, the video, like footage, that kind of stuff wasn't I feel like there's probably a video on a camera on every balcony now.
Yeah.
So, but listen, again, like I don't know the mental health status of this young lady. I don't know if she was having suicidal ideologies. I have no idea. All I know is that based on, there have been some eyewitness accounts of seeing her like off of the ship with a couple men.
Yeah.
And there were photos taken.
You're saying later on, like that they've seen her real life.
Yes,
they're saying,
there have been sightings of her. She also seemed like such a lovely daughter and sister. She was really, they had a nice family, they were happy. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I think that, either she fucking fell off or she is being or was trafficked. Some theories are that she has had children out of this situation and she can't leave, or she's still being threatened. If you leave, we will kill your whole family. That shit happens. So who knows? But I mean, it's been, 28 years since she's been missing. So I don't know. I'm hoping that she kind of would come to and be like, let me go. Her family's still hoping, and I think they believe that she's alive as well. So for the sake of their peace, I wish that they can get closure on whatever happened. But again, if she fell off the ship, I don't know if they would ever. I think that would always remain a mystery.
But this is the one where they were docked, kind of, where people, was this the one
they were in Barbados, like they were in Curacao,
where they were saying if somebody fell over, the body would have washed ashore, or a part of the body.
Yeah, because they say like sharks don't eat arms and legs. Mm-hmm. Like something would, if she did get,
really more into the organ meats or what?
I think torso, fatty parts, the meatier parts. Yeah. But who knows? Who knows? It's this happens a lot. People go. This is what makes, I think, sometimes, unfortunately, these are interesting stories. They're fascinating because you get to create your own theory of what happened. It's like that one guy. What was it? Like DB Cooper, the guy that like he hijacked the plane and then he jumped out of the plane and they never knew what happened to him. And Amelia Earhart, like what happened to her? These are just fascinating stories that we
unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, that we just hook on to.
Mm-hmm.
And then in regards to listening, nothing much for me, Michelle. Anything watching or listening?
I'm just listening to pig set lists, gearing up for July 25th gig at the dock at Montrose Harbor.
Amazing. Yeah. So, Michelle, with that being said, we had a hiccup this past week with a creeperino. So what was your simple joy to override any of that?
Oh my God. So many things. But I'm going to highlight my wildflowers the seeds that I planted at the beginning of the summer are starting to bloom. And so like every morning we're going outside and there's new buds and purples and blues and pinks and reds and all these things. It is seriously so fun to watch. I'm obsessed with it.
I planted zinnias a few months ago and I'm nervous that I'm just going to they've got tall green stalks, but only a couple of them have a bud.
Well, no, and you probably got the gigantors, so they've got some height to grow before.
Oh, they're still going.
I'm seeing, I thought there were zinnias in my mix, and then I kind of lost hope and was like, oh no, there's not. But I'm seeing that there are, and the buds have formed. So I'm going to be getting some of those here
zinnias
real soon too.
Funnest. I love them.
Yeah.
My simple joy pleasure, I am hooked on crossword puzzles by hand, like writing. I was at a bookstore a couple weeks ago and found one called like Beach Day Crossword Puzzles by the New York Times. It said easy on it. And I'm like, you know what? Done. And I'm obsessed. Like it is a thing. Like, and if I'm with people, I'll be like, hey, I'd like, if I know someone knows football or Anthony, he's my movie guy, actors' names and directors or whatever. And it is, they say it's one of the best games that you could do for your brain are crossword puzzles.
I wish I didn't hate them as much.
I never hated them. I just was never into them. And if you get one that's on your level, it's so fun. I highly recommend.
Maybe that's the key, getting one on my level.
Yeah, if you get something that's hard, it's too hard for you or challenging. It kind of makes you feel
because
defeated.
I'm like the person that like I need option A, option B. If you're putting me into a whole world of choosing things,
there's no options. It comes from your brain.
No, I know, but my brain needs options.
But that's why it's such a good workout for the brain, because you are trying to connect things, or you'll also realize how smart and how much you know. And then it's fun when I highly, highly recommend grabbing an easy crossword puzzle.
All right,
book
dude.
And trying it.
Yeah.
All right, friends. The next time someone creeps you off, creeps you
Yeah, just run in the other direction as fast and as far as you can. And also stay cozy with.
Thank you for joining us for today's cozy conversation. For more of The Sister Project, check us out on Instagram at The Sister Proj and our website, www.thesisterprojectblog.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and maybe even drop us a review. Until next time, stay cozy.